This is a short tutorial on how to install Opal, a data storage and data analysis application. We will discuss the server requirements, supported operating system, primary database, Elasticsearch service, R, Opal server, and other tools that Opal uses. Opal is supported on Linux on both Debian-based distros and Red Hat-based distros. Opal also requires Java 8. The recommended database for Opal is MongoDB 4.0. Other databases such as MySQL, MariaDB, and Postgres are also supported. Opal's search engine is based on Elasticsearch, which by default is embedded in Opal. But for performance reasons, you may wish to install Elasticsearch service as a standalone or on a different server. Opal also uses R for data analysis and data harmonization and to enhance its import-export capabilities. To install Opal on a Debian-based Linux, you would need the key to authenticate the package, add the URL of the package to the repository list, and use the Debian package tool to install Opal. To install Opal on a Red Hat-based Linux, you would need to download the package file on your system and use a Red Hat-based packaging tool to install Opal. In the following sections, we will describe how to install Opal R Server, R Studio, and Opal plugins. To install Opal R Server is much simpler. Since your Debian-based and Red Hat-based repositories are updated, you simply use the packaging tools to install Opal R Server. To install R Studio Server on both flavors of Linux, follow the links below. Once you install R Studio Server, you may want to install Opal R. Opal R provides a series of APIs enabling you to communicate to Opal, search for variables, extract, or push data to Opal. Opal provides a series of plugins to augment its import-export capabilities. The list of these plugins can be found under the Administration plugin section, or you can follow the link to plugins.obiba.org. The following server specification would be sufficient for a small to medium-sized project: 16 GB of memory, an 8-core processor, 200 GB of storage. The default Opal installation is configured to use 8 GB of RAM. But if your server has a large amount of memory, you can edit the file under /etc/default/opal and increase the values for -xms and -xmx. You can also install Opal and Opal R Server as Docker containers. Follow the installation documentation online for inspiration and instructions. Here is a review of the packages you will need to install on a Debian distribution: MongoDB 4.0, R, Opal, and Opal R Server. For each package, you would need to download its authentication key and add its URL to the list of packages. Once you have done that, you would need to download the packages and then proceed to install. Once the installation is complete, make sure you have the correct Java version and make sure all services installed are running correctly. As you can see, Mongo, Opal, and Opal R Server, they're all running and they're active. When you completed the installation of Opal, you would need to configure its databases. We'll start by logging in. You would go to the Administration Databases section. You would begin by initializing the Participant IDs database. As you can see, the connection was successful. Then you would go and configure the database where all the projects and variables would be saved. And you can check it for it to be the default storage to save. You would see that the connection was correct. So you have now both databases configured. The last check is go to your R section and you test the connection. Now that you completed all the tests, you can begin creating projects and importing data to Opal. Go to Projects, and let's create test. You can see the default storage is already set. You save, and you go to the Tables page, and you can begin by importing data to your project test. Visit the following pages for more information. Also, all links mentioned in this video are in the video description.